Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Elvis Photos. It's time to do some more reading. Yesterday we had an episode of Elvis and Kathy, and we had an episode of From Here to the Great Unknown. We had an episode of, did we do Child Bride yesterday? I don't think we did do Child Bride yesterday. So, anyways, I'm going to start off with My Army Days with Elvis for this first video. Johnny has not really gotten enough attention because everybody's been so excited about the new book, From Here to the Great Unknown, and Elvis and Kathy. But there's so much stuff in this book that's funny. That's an important read because it has to do with, Elvis. Elvis, in stories that you guys, you ladies and gentlemen, have not really seen. So, Chapter 20, from Johnny Lang. Now, you can find this book on Amazon. Friendship, Football, and Follies, My Army Days with Elvis. Johnny's a great gentleman. He was introduced to me by his friend Keith Paolela, I think is how you pronounce Keith's last name. And sent me this book. Nice little autograph to Joe. Best always, God bless, Johnny Lang, 2023. So let's start off right here. All those autographs. Most of my fellow GIs knew that I was hanging out with Elvis and his buddies. So every time I would take off, they knew I was going to see Elvis for the weekend. They would ask, "Johnny, would you have Elvis sign this for my mother? Or that for my sister? Or get me an autograph for a friend back home?" So I'd ask, "El, would you mind signing this for so-and-so?" And Elvis would say, "What are you doing? Selling these?" "No, the guys wanted them." He said, "I'm getting tired. Elizabeth, you sign them." Elizabeth could sign his name just like he could. And the guys didn't know the difference. And let me tell you why this is important. It's no big deal that Elizabeth was signing or any of the other guys. Because back then, an autograph was just the idea that you were around the artist or the star. People weren't trying to collect things for money, for authenticity. Just the fact that picture made it into the house and Elvis said, "Oh, you can put my name to this," was important. Anyways, let's go back here. So it was Elizabeth who signed many of the letters, photos, etc. Elizabeth commented on this. What happened is when people were in front of the house, they would say, "Can you take this and get Elvis to sign it?" So she or Red West would go in. She said the problem was that sometimes there were so many of them that she would sign some, Lamar would sign some, or Red would sign some. Then the people would compare them back outside and say, "Wait a minute, those don't look the same." Most of the autographs were never signed by Elvis, but he was there. He was there right next to it, pretty much. As far as me ever getting his autograph, talk about a missed opportunity for nostalgia. I knew him for almost 2 years, and I'm so stupid that I'd gotten everybody and his brother an autograph. I should have gotten a nice picture signed by Elvis. And as I've said many times, I was alone with him. I could have said, "El, would you do me a favor? Would you write a little something like, 'To Johnny Lang, my friend,' or something, and sign it?" I just didn't think to ask. It was hard enough getting autographs for everybody else. I didn't want to take advantage of him. But years later, I think, Jesus, I should have gotten one. And I know he would have given me one. All right, Chapter 21, A Kind Southern Gentleman. Speaking of autographs, there's a touching story of Elvis's kindness that I had the pleasure of witnessing. It involved two sisters who visited Elvis's house in Germany. He would usually set aside about an hour a day to sign autographs inside of his home. I was sitting in the living room, watching the gals come and go, while getting a big kick out of his usual group of fans. At one point, two sisters came in. One was very pretty, dressed really nice, and spoke English. The other, younger sister did not speak English and was dressed like a farm maid and was far from being a ravishing beauty. She was nothing like her older sister in terms of physical looks. I watched as they both stared at Elvis, completely mesmerized by him. The beautiful English-speaking sister translated questions and small talk for her little sister. Elvis spent about 15 minutes chatting with them both in his usual friendly manner. They finished up and left. Afterwards, I said, "I got to give you credit, El, for taking the time with the young lady. Johnny, my fans helped me get where I'm at, and I wouldn't hurt that girl for the world." I remember being impressed with his kindness and his patience, treating them both the same. I'm sure those gals never forgot it either. Let's look at some pictures here before we get to the next reading. So this is Johnny with his fraternal twin brother Guy. It's his twin again. So he had a twin, just like Elvis had a twin. That's one of the reasons probably that they bonded. And I don't know whether, I'm sure Johnny was going to mention that in this book. And if he didn't, I'm sure he probably realizes it. It's great pictures there. There's Elvis down there. And there's Johnny Lang up there, hanging off the top. I wish I could zoom it in with my fingers, but this is a book. Johnny Lang there, 3rd Armored Division in 58. You got Elvis there, and you got Johnny Lang right there. Taking a handoff from Elvis right there, trying to steer clear of Wes Daniels. Me and Elvis waiting for the next play at one of our football games. He used to do this football without shoes on. Taking a break during a Sunday football game, I'm standing front and center. Elvis is seated front and left getting some water. Elvis, Johnny Lang. Elvis in front of his house. Cover of Photoplay magazine. From left to right is Lang. Me, young German fan, Red West right there. You got Elvis right there. Rex Mansfield. And then you got Wes Daniels over here. Lounging in the backyard at Elvis's home in Germany with some young gals who stopped by for autographs. This might be the two girls that he's just read the story about. The older one and the younger one. Then you got me and Red West, Elvis's longtime friend, bodyguard, and resident badass at the time. There was Red, and there was Johnny Lang right there. Playing badminton with Elvis in the backyard at his home. You got Johnny Lang, you got Elvis right there. The watch Elvis gave me after spending 10 days on the USS Sorrento with him. The Ronson lighter Elvis gave me at Christmas in 1959. Johnny kept these things, didn't sell them. Backstage at the Holiday on Ice show in Germany in 1958, Elvis is getting ready to move in on the Queen of the Hop. I'm standing all the way to the right, preparing to ask one of the beautiful leftovers, are you lonesome tonight? There he is right there. Me and Elvis's father, Vernon, also known as the Old Man, as I called him, heading out for drinks and to pick up fan mail. My superior officer thought I'd have talent for working with children and women. With children, they are seen unsupervised in the background as I'm tending to the needs of the lovely Pat Hill, a fellow American camp counselor. This was during a well-deserved break at AYA summer camp in Germany. It was hard work, but anything for the kids. I'm sure he paid attention to the kids. This was just a random moment. Posed down by the barracks. There's Johnny Lang right there. Recent newlyweds in September 62. My then wife, Mary Louise Paquin, looking beautiful as we attended the Sammy Davis Jr. show in Windsor, Ontario. Me wearing the toupee I bought from the 1975 Elvis concert at the Pontiac Silverdome. At that time, this was considered a very expensive rug. The premium package included dandruff. Johnny's a cut up. My daughter Nicole, 1 year after brain surgery, this book is dedicated to her. Me and my daughter Nicole in 2020. Excuse me. Must have some allergies going on or something, or just being run down. Me and Sonny West, Red's cousin in Las Vegas around 2015, to Johnny warm wishes. Elizabeth and Rex Mansfield during one of their book signings in 2013. Elizabeth was the lovely young lady I met in the movie theater lobby. Sorry, I can't talk, folks. Became Elvis's first secretary and girlfriend while in Germany. Me and all my 5 children at my birthday party in 2018 in Michigan. Nicole, Jeff, Monique, Vanessa, and Lisa. Great family there, Johnny. Me and my son Jeff sharing a laugh at his home in Michigan in 2022. Now, Jeff, labor of love, worked very hard to put this book together for his dad. This book wouldn't have happened really without Jeff. So what a great son Jeff is for his dad, Johnny. All right, let's continue reading here. Crazy Rich. Elvis became famous in 1956. In 58, when I met him, he probably had 7 gold records and was probably worth $1 million. Johnny was worth a lot more than that. That being said, he was crazy rich by December 56 from selling clothing, hats, teddy bears, etc. In merchandise, $26 million alone. That's like $270 million a day. When I say crazy rich, he was crazy rich. From the reports I've read, he was worth only $5 million when he died. That's all he was worth because by the time he was 42, he gave away $20 million. He would give people these expensive things. As I mentioned, he gave me a watch and a lighter. He would give anyone anything. I think it's a great thing to mention there, Johnny. And of course, with that, the reports of 20 million away, it's worth even more in today's money, 100 million. And then that's just the stuff like cars and houses and stuff like that. He gave people lots of things, and um, more than was known. So this is a great little read. We're going to continue reading this book. I'd be remiss if I said you shouldn't get a copy of this. Get a copy, help Johnny out. Have a physical copy at your house, read it on a rainy day, because you're going to forget what I said at some point in time. And it'll be nice to have that around for the grandkids or your kids, or just to read it and remember the fun, good, happy sides of Elvis. Even when he was in Germany, having to go do something in a sense that he was his patriotic duty. But at the same time, I mean, imagine being torn away from the thing that you love the most, and you're at the top of the world, and you have all this money coming in, adulation, and you're enjoying doing it, to go to a rigid life of cleaning toilets, being in the field for weeks at a time in the freezing cold. That's what army life was like for Elvis, and what Johnny did as well. I think Johnny volunteered. Anyway, TCB TLC, my Army Days with Elvis. Hope you enjoyed it.